G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Mr. Code's STEAM podcast. Today we're going to take a first look at the new LEGO Education Spike Essential. Alright, let's do an unboxing. Here we have our element card, similar to WeDo too. So you're going to notice that all the pieces are now color-coded, which is going to be fantastic for teachers who have really young students, all right? Because a lot of students aren't really familiar with sorting pieces by the type, like in WeDo too. So this is really good to be able to see that all the pieces are now color-coded instead. So you've got all your purple blocks, your green pieces, your red pieces, your blue pieces, orange, and then yellow pieces. Very nice indeed. You're also going to see that we have our new hub over here. We have a color sensor, a LED matrix, 2 motors, so that's an extra motor more than the WeDo 2, and a couple of wheels. So with that extra motor, it's going to just give you a lot more opportunity to do really cool models with your robot. Because with the WeDo 2, you weren't able to do a lot of steering models. You had to think of really creative ways to do a model that could turn around. But it looks like we're not going to have that problem over here. Let's do some stickering. So all the new LEGO Education boxes, like the Spike Essentials kit and especially the Brick Q Motion kits as well, they seem to be all color-coded, which is really good for classroom organization. One of the biggest complaints that I find with schools is that the LEGO Education boxes, after the kids have finished using them, they become a real mess, and then nobody wants to clean them up, or there's no way to sort of incentivize the kids to sort their boxes out again. So hopefully this new color system is going to mean better organized classes, and when the class is more organized, then you can fit more activities in. Alright, start. So I'm going to sort these trays out. You're going to see that each tray has a numbered bag, so no more digging around for different pieces. Bag 7 goes into tray 7. Bag 3 is into tray 3, and so on. So even though this is the first time we are doing this unboxing, I already know pretty much where all the pieces are going to go, because it is just so easy to sort now. So if you had 10 or 20 of these boxes, you'd be able to sort it out in one sitting. You wouldn't have to worry about finding different pieces in different bags, which was a big problem with WeDo 2 and with the EV3 system. of our pulleys. Alright, so this looks like it is all the pieces in the top trays. Let's have a look at the other components inside the box. This is really nice. We got a whole box of spare parts, so this is really generous, and I wonder how many pieces there are. Oh, it's actually got a piece count on the back as well. So really handy. You don't have to order your own separate replacement parts. There's a lot of spare parts in the back here as well. And I guess if you wanted to, you could just add these into the trays as you need them. But I think most schools and most teachers would probably want to keep it separate somewhere just until kids start losing the pieces. But this is really handy. Really nice work. More pieces go into the bottom of the tray. Alright, here is the hub. If you've used the Spike Prime system before, then you're going to find that this new hub looks so tiny. So tiny. It's very cute looking. It's good for little hands to use. And here is a rechargeable battery. And if only WeDo 2 had rechargeable batteries that came with the kit, right? Instead of having you to buy a separate one. So here we got 2 input-output ports. So same as WeDo 2, you still have 2 ports. However, with the new Spike Essential hub, it's got an inbuilt gyro, which means that you don't have to attach a separate tilt sensor onto the hub. So that's going to be really useful. Right, here's a color sensor. So this is a fully fledged color sensor from the Spike Prime set as well. So it can recognize all the different colors from the Lego kit, but also you can customize it if you use the Spike Prime coding blocks to detect different colors as well. It also doubles as a decoration because the light, the LED light on the ring can also be illuminated different brightness levels. So you get one of those color sensors. You get these new small motors. You can see that there is a little marking up the top which says that shows that that's the 0 position. So you have that absolute position. Oh, it kind of feels like the gearing is different on this motor as well. It feels like there's a lot of torque on this motor, but I'm going to have to test it out with some builds in order to see if it actually performs as well as those bigger motors that we have in Spike Prime. Here's the second motor. Here is a USB cable. So great thing about the USB cable is that we can also charge the hub using the USB. So you don't have to replace the battery or charge up the battery separately like with WeDo 2. We can charge it up using the USB cable for this hub. Really, really good feature. And then finally, this I know that a lot of kids would be excited about, is this kind of disco light. It's like an LED light matrix, but believe it or not, each one of these 9 squares can illuminate a different color. So I'm sure that's going to provide a lot of creative opportunities for the kids. Right, and then we have a whole bunch of support pieces. These little kind of industrial frames, and then also we have a lot of these large flat plates as well, so we can build little sceneries as well. Really cool. Let's jump onto the software and do some projects. So now when you start your Spike app, you're going to see these first two options where you can choose Spike Essential or Spike Prime. So Spike Essential is this one over here. And it looks very familiar to Spike Prime because it all shares the same technology. But you're going to see that there's a new onboarding system here. So in getting started, you'll be able to see how to work with the motors, work with the LED light and the color sensor, and also with the tilt sensor. So that's really cool. What's more is that you also have multiple coding languages with Spike Essential. So let me show you what I mean. You can choose between icon blocks, which are more similar to Scratch Junior, or word blocks, which are like Scratch 3. So here you can create a project and you have these action blocks, which are very similar to the WeDo 2 and Scratch Junior blocks. Or you can start a new project and you can use word blocks, which is like Scratch 3, where you have slightly more capability, but also it's better for older students who are able to do more reading. So that's really cool. Let's have a look at some of the units. Great Adventures. Great Adventures looks like it's like a camping based camping themed adventure. You go on boat trips, a cave car, that's cool. Great Desert Adventure, I wonder what's that. Great Desert Adventure. They're going to the pyramids. Oh, okay, so this is more like a open project where you have to use at least one motor and one sensor to create your own vehicle, which is kind of cool. So this is kind of like the open projects from WeDo 2. What other projects are there? Amazing Amusement Park. This looks like it's going to be a crowd favorite already. There's a cool little carousel. Let's have a look at the instructions for one of these. Oh, cool. I like it how you don't have that many things to click on anymore. Like, you're not going to accidentally click out of this. A lot of the time when you're using WeDo 2, you might accidentally click out of some instructions. But here it's really relatively guided. Cool, so we got a carousel, and it's also using the build plate really well so that you don't have parts flopping around. It's really cool. And here are the word blocks that I was talking about before. So here we attach the word block, and then we attach these one at a time. And this is going to make a motor spin. Let's try that. Alright, so I'll just attach. Well, first of all, I've got to connect my hub. Okay, it's connected already. That's super simple. I'll call it Hub 1. Or maybe Essentials 1. Essential 1. Now, if I connect a motor to the hub, can see here on the top left that it already shows that there is a motor at A. It's also got 0 degrees there because of the absolute positioning of the motor. So I can rotate it and it will change the degree value over here. Very nice. So now if I press the play button over here, then my motor should roll. Hey, it's working. It spins for, is that 2 seconds or is that? Let's have a look. Okay, so we got help here. Run motor clockwise. For 2.5. Oh, so it's a rotation block. Okay, gotcha. No wonder it's spun for longer. So it's not based on time. So a lot of the WeDo 2 motor blocks, I think WeDo 2 motor blocks can only rotate based on time, whereas in Spike Essentials it looks like even with these icon-based blocks, we are rotating. Spinning on rotations. So that makes it so that it's much more accurate for navigation exercises, because when you're rotating based on time, you won't know exactly where your robot will end up, especially if you change the speed. Whereas if you're changing your motor based on rotations, then it's going to be a lot more accurate, because you'll be able to measure how big your wheels are and move a fixed distance. So that's really cool. So rolling based on rotations, that's cool. Let's have a look at some of these other blocks. So this is from the lesson only. So these blocks, there's only 3 blocks here for the lesson, but you can also look at Spike Essential and then you'll see all the different blocks that are available. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at the motor spinning again with that same code. So here it is rolling slowly at 2.75 rotations. Cool. Alright, let's try working with the LED matrix. I think this is the one I'm really excited about. So I'm going to plug in the light matrix. And let's have a look at these blocks to see what we can do with them. So if I put just that on, is it just going to light up my light? Yeah, it just turns on the yellow light. I can also change the color, make a green cross in the middle. Oops, stop the code. And then I press it again, green cross. It's cool. Alright, here we go. So, it's a green cross. What else can I do? Make a red X. Yep. What if I create, what's this other block? So there is this random, I think this is random. Is this random? So if I put a repeat block around it, going to make it repeat forever. Yeah. Okay, let's see what that does. So it makes it all flash random colors. I was hoping that they would all flash like individually, but this is still kind of cool. It's sort of like a disco. Alright, cool. Makes a little disco effect. Nice work. So that's a little preview of the software. What else? So let's see what other stuff can we do. We got the tilt sensor. Yeah, tilt sensor is pretty cool. Got color sensor. What about these sounds? I know that my students are going to be obsessed with sounds. Okay, so the sounds are emitting out of the computer, just like in WeDo too. Let's build some of the models and have a closer look. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, More Educational. Ever since Creator Academy started making LEGO education videos, we have been greatly supported by the experts at More Educational. They are an authorized partner of LEGO Education with over 20 years experience working with LEGO education products. If you're in Australia and you're looking to buy genuine LEGO education products like the ones featured in this video, then make sure you check out the More Educational website. What do you think of Spike Essentials? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.